Hey, this is Dan Coulson, man. I just want to do a quick little video, man. I'm sitting around home, just saying, let me throw my 3 cents out here. So, Spider-Man: No Way Home is an undeniably success. It's going to make $1 billion by Christmas. So put the time stamp on it, and hands off to Kevin Feige and the whole Spider-Man team. But one of the things, not worries, but just concerns, or just my thoughts of going forward. Some of the things that Marvel should really focus on going forward, just to me. And I think that, first of all, I thought the film was, I thought it was okay. I had some issues with it, but that's just me. I'm not, not comic book nerd stuff. I just was kind of a little lost to some of the premises of the movies. One example is, you take away an evil person's power, and so they're no longer evil. Spoilers, and I just know a lot of evil people that have no power. So I don't know, removing someone's powers, how is that going to make them? I don't see what kind of reform that is, because, and I'm sure wherever you've seen Green Goblin, he's probably going to make the same formula as before, because that's what evil does. But besides all that, one of the things that no matter how I felt about the film, at the end, we can all agree Peter Parker's in a better spot than when we started out with the 5 films with Tom Holland. And that is very, very good to look at. And I just think going forward, to make it even more of a landmark film, uh, they've got Peter Parker in a place, uh, with a fresh start, no longer the Iron Man's, sidekick. But one of the things I think that Marvel really need to do, because and this is my mindset, that it was great to have all the actors, back, in the roles. Of course. But I myself would have loved a brand new, fresh start, brand new villains. But that's a different movie. But going forward, the villains, the Sinister Six or Sinister Five, I think that was a big draw to the film as well. You were able to see all of those characters back together and the people that played them. So it was a great celebration, and it was great to see all of the Spider-Man together in one room. But now going forward, it's obvious now that villains is a thing with Marvel as a whole, that now they need their own. They need Green Goblin. They need MCU Doc Ock. I mean, you took away the powers of the characters in another universe, so now they gotta do a clean start. And so I think that now they're gonna have to focus on, because Joker is Spider-Man's Joker is the Green Goblin. That's one of the things, and it needs a yin and yang, and that's why it's two films, two Spider-Man Foundations films, the Raimi and with the Mark Webb doing it, wanted to really highlight that. So now we need an MC version. It was great to visit Green Goblin, uh, Harry Osborn. I don't know if William Dafoe is gonna come back, or did you take away the powers? Are you gonna revisit it? But it is obvious that you need some of the known villains to fight Spider-Man. Mysterio was cool, Vulture was cool, but right now you need to put some people on the table. Is one of the things, and I got a little notes here too. So yeah, one Spider-Man. Also, I think what would be great too. I know it was great to see Andrew Garfield. He's one of my favorites, and it's nice to go Toby. But I think we should make this a send off. People are talking about having spin-off films, and maybe Andrew Garfield in another one. And one of the things I've prided Marvel on is they have one person playing the character at the same time. And I know that may sound crazy, but it's a lot simplified to people who are not comic book goers. Uh, to say there's one Captain America and there's one Iron Man. We may do legacy characters of it. People may pick up the mantle, but Chris Evans in that character timeline, in Iron Man, it's done with. And I think multiple versions of it, and saying it's multi-universe, is kind of flooding the market. I think that in our lifetime it was nice to get them all put together. Let this be a send off and be in celebrations, but I know Marvel's like, ooh, this just looks this looks a little too looks good. Uh, oh, and then also, one of the things too going forward, the Marvel can take over. I had a few little notes. is now, and this is important. Marvel and Sony had a little bit of issues, and what characters can we use? We can't use Mary Jane, can't use Gwen, can't use this. Got Venom in, Venom pulled back. We got a different version of Venom. So I think that in the animated cartoons of Spider-Man and live action of it, there are some characters in the Spider-Man world that just helps flesh out a whole bunch of stories rather than trying to, make a new package of it and things like that. And I just think, like, going forward, we got to start putting characters that people recognized. And I just think that a Gwen Stacy, I think a Harry Osborn, and going back a Norman Osborn, and put that on put that really on the on the table. Now I know it's MJ Watson or whatever it can be. Zendaya is more Mary Jane off camera than on camera. But if they're going to find a way to have her come back as a competing love interest, but they're going to they're going to need to because Spider-Man is a ladies' man. I mean that is something in the comic books, and I mean, from Mary Jane in the comics with the traditional red-haired one, the model, the attainable model, and he finally gets with it, and he ended up marrying. You got the Gwen Stacy, Betty Brant wasn't. We may not do it in this world. And Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat. I mean, there's a lot of a lot of females to put on the table really going forward. So I just think that Marvel, celebrate, this was a great achievement. But I think also, weirdly, and I think people will agree, that this is also the success of the film. People was kind of to see was the three characters, but a lot of people had love for all three of the Spider-Man different phases. And I think a lot of people been kind of frustrated with the Tom Holland, not him as an actor, but the storyline of being, the Iron Man sidekick and the Avengers and stuff like that. Spider-Man is, people love that it's owned by Marvel and Disney, but really want him to step out on his own, because Spider-Man is really, he's so big, he's an independent character that can casually cross over into the Marvel other cinematic universe. But it's not necessarily for him to name drop the Hulk or Black Widow or Ant-Man, things like that. So I think people kind of say, hey, this is you've rebooted this 3 major times, and let's go forward with a new really direction of it. So hopefully Marvel will go ahead and do that. And that's just my 3 or 2 cents. But I think a lot of people overall will agree that the table is open, and this was a great celebration, but it was a signal, Marvel, to keep this going forward and cut the connections of it. And right now, Spider-Man can go in a direction street level a little bit more. I think that people, hopefully, even him meeting with Daredevil, the street level, and working with the neighborhoods, doing Iron Fist or Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, different versions, or it could be the Netflix versions. But in that street level, ground level, you got Kingpin walking around in it. So there's a million stories that can be told, right there, and that is my thing. But Marvel, I just don't want Marvel to, it was a celebration, but I think the fans resoundingly was the big heroes of it, to make that much success in the era of COVID, Delta, and Omicron, and still make $1 billion. Everybody should get a free comic book, or a mask, and that's it for Dave Loves Comics, man. And I always do say that I don't know why movie theaters or Marvel don't supply face mask with Super Spider-Man or Hulk on the mask. Would be it's just mind blowing that you couldn't capitalize on being safe on it too. But anyway, that's a whole different video. And you guys take care. Peace.